So good morning everybody. Yesterday what we have studied? Yes, during yesterday's lecture what we have studied, students? Yes, tell me. Yes, anybody? Yes, Vedant, unmute yourself and talk. Yes.
Interrupt unit.
Interrupt unit we have studied, and the basic concept of interrupt, its uses, its types, and the functions of interrupt unit in 8051 microcontroller. This we have studied. Okay, so now we will be studying some of the registers which are used in microcontroller. Okay, so we will start with that. Today I will share the screen so that you can see the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so let us share my screen. Not a whiteboard. Dropbox, what it says. Okay. Now can you observe something? Yes, students. Can you observe something or not? Not still?
Observe, ma'am.
You can observe. Somebody is coming. So I think I will have to share this PC. So in this PC on desktop, I have PPT. I will have to start the PPT. Okay, so I will be coming to here. Okay, so yes. Now can you observe the PPT, students? Yes. Can you observe the PPT?
Ma'am, black display sir. Oh yes, आते थे.
Now can you observe? Okay. So
Okay, ma'am.
what diagram you can observe on the screen? This is a diagram of interrupt. Okay. So this is revision of yesterday. So how interrupt occurs? When interrupt occurs, the normal program execution is stopped by CPU. It will go to interrupt service routine, and after completion of the interrupt service routine, it will go to normal program. Okay, so this is what we have studied. Okay, so today we are going to study some resistors. Already you have studied some of these resistors. What you can observe in this diagram, there are two types of resistors in 8051. Which are those? One is 8-bit resistors and another is 16-bit resistors. Okay, so 16-bit resistors we have studied already. Okay, can you remember? There are two 16-bit resistors. One is DPTR and another is PC. What is long form of DPTR and PC? Can anybody tell me? Yes, anybody? हाँ बरोबर आहे. What is it? It is a data
Pointer resistor.
data pointer resistor. And what is this PC? Yes, yes, yes. Be quick. Vedant. What is PC?
Program counter.
Program counter.
Program counter register, and function of these two registers we have studied already. Okay. So data pointer register can be used as a pointer to the data memory, and program counter register is used as a pointer to instructions. That means it contains the address of the next instruction to be executed. So this is what is a function of program counter. Now in 8-bit registers, we have seen there are 8 registers starting from R0 to R7. So all these 8-bit 8 registers are called as general purpose register, and programmer can use all these registers, general purpose register, for any purpose, okay. So you can use it as a pointer, you can use it for storage, you can use it as operand, etc. Okay. So this is what is function of general purpose registers. Now apart from this, you can observe SP, A and B. Do you know what is meaning of SP? Yes. SP is nothing but a stack pointer. You might have heard about the stack. What is the function of the stack? What is the function of the stack? Have you heard of stack memory?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the use of the stack memory? Yes, yes, yes. Tell me. Be fast. What is use of stack memory? You should know this. As computer science students, you should know this. What is a stack memory? Yes. So yesterday we have studied interrupt, isn't it? And while studying interrupt, I have told you when interrupt occurs, the CPU stops execution of the current instruction, and what it does, it saves the context. What it does, it saves the context of the program. So where does CPU stores the context of the program? CPU stores the context of the program in a memory called as a stack memory. Okay. So what is the condition of CPU, various CPU registers, flag registers at the time of execution? So that condition is stored in a stack memory. So stack is used to store the context. Okay. So stack pointer is a register which points to the top of the stack, or it holds the address of the memory location of the top of the stack. All of you know stack memory is first in last out type of the memory. First in last out. So memory elements are stored one another over as a stack, and the address of the last element or address of the top of the stack is always stored in the stack pointer. So stack pointer points to the top of the stack memory. So that is what is the function of the stack pointer. Stack pointer is 8-bit wide. Okay. Are you getting the thing? Are you clear about this? Students, are you clear about this? Yes, tell me. Tell me. Are you clear about this? Or you
No,
have
ma'am,
any?
please repeat.
Okay. What I told you, there is a memory called as a stack memory in 8051. This is first in last out type of the memory, and use of the stack memory is to store the context of any program while the call is encountered or interrupt is encountered. 1 minute, students. हॅलो हॅलो हा हा बोला सर. हा केला होता मी. एक थोड्या वेळाने तुम्हाला कॉल करू. मी लेक्चर घेते मुलांचं ऑनलाईन. हा थोड्या वेळाने मी कॉल करते तुम्हाला लेक्चर झाल्यावर. ओके. हा हा हा. So where we were in the stack memory. So stack is first in last out type of the memory, and it can be used to save the context of the program. Okay, when the call instruction or subroutine instruction or function instruction is encountered, and at the same time when interrupt is also encountered. So for both these applications of CPU, the stack memory is required, and the condition or the status of the program where we left is stored in a memory called as a stack memory. Okay. Now stack pointer is a register. It is a 8-bit register which points to the top of the stack, or it holds the address of the top instruction or top element which is present in the stack. Okay, so this is what is the function of the stack pointer. Okay, are you clear about this? What is the stack pointer? Stack pointer is a 8-bit register, and it holds the address of the top element of the stack memory. So this much you can write about the function of the stack pointer. Now, apart from this, we have two more registers called as register A and register B. Now, on screen, you can observe the register A is called as accumulator register. Okay, so here you can observe the accumulator register is byte addressable, and when it is byte addressable, its address is E0H. Okay, and it is also a bit addressable. That means you can access any bit at a time with help of instruction. Okay, so this is bit number 0, bit number 1, bit number 2, bit number 3, bit number 4, like this up to bit number 8. Okay, so the address of the bit number 1 is E0. Address of bit number 2 is E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, E7, like this. Okay, so these are the addresses of bits of accumulator register. You can access these bits either by using address or by using the name of the bit. The name of the bit is ACC.0. Zeroth bit of accumulator is called as ACC.0. The first bit of the accumulator is called as ACC.1. Okay, so like this you can go up to ACC.7. Okay, so who is annotating? Suraj, do not annotate. Okay, so this is what is accumulator register A. Are you clear about the structure of the accumulator register A? Yes? Are you clear, students? How is accumulator register A? It is 8-bit wide. It is byte addressable. That means you can address all 8 bits at a time by using address E0H. H means hexadecimal, and also you can access it by a name, and when you access it by a name, its name is A for byte accessing. Okay, so when you are bit accessing it, you are addressing any one of the bit of this, then either you can access it by using address starting from E0 to E7. So E4 means bit number 5 of the accumulator. Okay, You can also access the bit of the accumulator by using its name, and its name is written as ACC.0, ACC.1, etc. Means if you want to access fifth bit, what you will call it? ACC.4. Okay, so like this, the accumulator register is byte addressable as well as bit addressable. Do you have any doubt in this? Yes, tell me. No.
मॅम ते EOH आहे.
E0H हा ऍड्रेस आहे. त्या ऍड्रेसने आपण त्या रेजिस्टर्सला डेसिग्नेट करू शकतो, म्हणजे प्रोग्राम मध्ये यूज करू शकतो. म्हणजे प्रोग्राम मध्ये इन्स्ट्रक्शन लिहिताना तुम्ही E0H असं लिहिलं तर त्याचा अर्थ असा होतो की तुम्ही अक्युमुलेटर रेजिस्टर वापरताय, किंवा नुसतं ए लिहिलं तरी त्याचा अर्थ असा होतो की तुम्ही अक्युमुलेटर रेजिस्टर वापरताय. आलं लक्षात? जेव्हा तो बाईट म्हणून वापरायचा आहे पूर्ण 8 बीट साठी, तेव्हा काय ऍड्रेस वापरायचा आहे आपल्याला? E0. ओके. पण जेव्हा तो बीट म्हणून वापरायचा आहे तेव्हा त्याच्यासाठी वेगवेगळ्या बीट साठी वेगवेगळे ऍड्रेसेस आहेत बघा इथे, E0 पासून E7 पर्यंत. मग नुसत्या ऍड्रेसनी तुम्ही डेसिग्नेट करताय का? नाही, तर तुम्ही नावाने सुद्धा डेसिग्नेट करताय. नावाने सुद्धा तो रेजिस्टर वापरू शकताय बीट ऍड्रेसेबल म्हणून. मग तुम्हाला बीट एखादं वापरायचं असेल तर तिथे काय लिहिणार? समजा मला हे 8वं बीट वापरायचंय तर त्याचं नाव काय लिहिणार मी? ACC.7 किंवा त्याचा ऍड्रेस लिहिणार E7. येते लक्षात? बोला.
येस मॅम. येस मॅम.
In the similar way, the structure of register B is also same. Register B also is 8-bit byte register, and here you can see we have denoted LSB and MSB of the data stored in the register. LSB means, what is meaning of LSB? Can anybody tell me? Yes? What is the meaning of LSB?
Left side bit.
No, it is least significant bit. The meaning of the least significant bit is its weightage is lowest, and MSB means most significant bit. The meaning of that is its weightage is high. So weightage of LSB is 2 to power 0, and weightage of MSB is how much? 2 to power 0, 2 to power 1, 2 to power 2, 2 to power 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2 to the power of 7. So this is what is the weightage of your MSB of 8-bit data. Okay? Are you clear about this? So here MSB, LSB is also shown. Now, similar to register A, register B is also byte addressable as well as bit addressable. And in byte addressable condition, if you want to write it in the form of address, you can write the direct address F0H. F0H means register B. Okay. You can also use it in bit addressable condition. That means you can address a single bit, or you can change a single bit of register B. So for that you have to use the address of a particular bit. For example, if you want to address the 4th number bit, then address of this 4th number bit is F4. Similarly, with help of name also you can write about the register in your program. So register B is written as merely B in program. So if you are calling it by a name, this you can compare with yourself. I can call you with your name, or I can call you with your roll number, isn't it? So you can compare roll number with the address, and you can compare name of the register with your name. Okay, so name of this register in program is B, and name of each individual bit is written as B.0, B.1, B.2 ... up to B.7. That means MSB of the register B is called with the name B.7. LSB of the register B is called with the name B.0. So either you can address it by a bit, or you can address it by a byte. So when you are addressing it by a byte, you can call it as register B. And if you are addressing it by a bit, you can give the bit number. For example, B.2, B.1, etc. Okay. So are you clear about the structure? Yes. Each square part in this register is nothing but a flip-flop. So it has capacity of 8 bits, means it has 8 flip-flops in it. 8 D type of flip-flops are in it, and each flip-flop stores 1 bit. Okay, either you can store 0 or 1 within it. This is what is the function of registers. Okay, are you clear? Shall we move forward? Yes, respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let us see what are the special functions of the register A and B. Okay, register A is very, very important. Okay, and it is called as accumulator. The name of register A is accumulator, and the function of this register A is that it is used as operand. It is used as operand in many instructions. Okay, so in many arithmetic instructions, in many logical instructions, and in many bit manipulation instruction. Bit manipulation means when you are operating on the bit, you can perform the operation on bit as well as you can perform operation on a byte. Byte means 8 bits. Okay, so accumulator register is a versatile register, and mostly it is used as one of the operand during various arithmetic, that is mathematical and logical operations. Even it can be used in shift and rotate operations also. So we are going to study all these operations, that is nothing but the instruction set of microcontroller in detail. Okay, so what is the use of accumulator or A register? A register is a one of the versatile register, and it is used as operand for almost all types of instructions, and mostly the result of the operation is stored in A register when it is used as a operand. Okay, so this is what is the function of the accumulator. Now let us see the function of B register. So B register is used for multiplication and division. Okay, multiplication operation and division operation, and this register is used along with the accumulator. Okay, that means you have to write instruction multiply AB or divide AB. Always there must be AB when you use multiply instruction or divide instruction. Okay, are you clear about this? Students, are you clear about this?
Yes, ma'am.
So you should know operation or function of each and every register. It may be asked in examination. Give the function of accumulator. Give the function of register B. Okay, isn't it? So, Suraj, don't annotate. Now, let us go to next. Okay. What you can observe over here, students? What you can observe? What you can observe? Tell me, you can observe something on the screen. And what is it? What you can see? What is title written over here?
Flags and program status word.
Flag and program status word. Flag and program status word. Isn't it? 1 minute. Huh? I want to take a screenshot of number of participants. Okay. So all of you please record your attendance in the chat box. Write your name in the chat box and then we will proceed. Okay. I will stop sharing for a while so that I can take a screenshot of the students. Okay. Now I will share a screen. Okay. Now we will come to our point. So what is our point? Yes, students, what is our point? Flag and program status word. Flags and program status word. So this is also one type of register which is present in 8051. And name of this register is PSW. What is name? PSW. So what is long form of PSW? The long form of PSW is program status word. And what is length of this word? Length of this word is 8 bits. Okay. So if you start from your right side is LSB and left side is MSB. Your left side is MSB. Okay. So number them as LSB as 0 and MSB as 7. Okay. So as I told you, register consists of, what register consists of, students? What register consists of? Tell me. What register consists of? What register consists of? Please tell me.
Flip-flop.
Flip-flop. Register consists of flip-flop. And each flip-flop in this program status word is called as a flag. What it is called as? It is called as a flag. Okay. So what is function of the flag? Function of the flag we have discussed already last time. I think during my first or second lecture I have discussed about the flag. Okay. What do you mean by flag? So in train, what is function of the flag? That we have discussed.
Indication.
Indication. Indication of something. Whether to stop, whether to go, isn't it? Whether the line is clear or not. So this indication is given with the help of the flag. So in microcontroller, the indication is given. About what? About the status of the operation of the microcontroller. So what current operation the microcontroller has performed and its status is shown in this word by setting or resetting a particular bit of this program status word. By accessing this program status word, we can understand the status of the CPU. The status of the CPU. Okay. So here on the screen, you can observe function of each and every bit of this program status word. Okay. Let us start from MSB. MSB is nothing but our bit number 7. Okay. So this bit number 7 is a carry flag. It is called as a carry flag. It is designated as a CY. Okay. So are you getting the point? It is designated as CY. Long form of this is carry flag. And it is mostly used in arithmetic, jump, rotate, and some of the Boolean instructions. Okay. So when carry is generated out of some operation, the carry flag is set to 1. Otherwise, it is set to 0. So whenever the carry is generated as a result of the operation carried out by CPU, the carry flag will be set to 1. Otherwise, it is cleared or it contains 0. Okay. So this is what is the function of the carry flag. The 6th bit of this program status word is called as AC. The long form of AC is that auxiliary carry flag. And auxiliary carry flag is mostly used in is mostly used in what is called as BCD arithmetic. Okay, so all of you know what is BCD arithmetic? All of you know what is BCD arithmetic? Yes, please tell me. BCD numbers, do you know what are BCD numbers? BCD numbers are
Binary code.
binary coded decimal. Okay, so they are decimal in the form of binary numbers. For example, 86 and I can write it as 78. Suppose we are performing addition operation on BCD numbers. Let us consider that these are BCD numbers. Okay, so 6 we can write as 8 we can write as 1 0 0 0 and 6 we can write it as 0 1 1 0. Okay, 7 we can write as in the binary form 0 1 1. 8 we can write as 1 0 0 0. And if we want to perform addition of this, what will happen? Yes, tell me, if we want to perform addition of this, what will happen? 8 plus 6 is, how much it is? It is 14, isn't it? So, carry is created here. 1 is your carry. So, 8 plus 8 is 16. The result of this is 164. Okay. So, when carry is generated from one digit to another digit, it is called as auxiliary carry. What it is called as? This is called as auxiliary carry. And when this auxiliary carry is generated, the auxiliary carry flag is set to 1. Otherwise, if the carry is not generated from one bit to another bit, then it is 0. Okay. So by observing the status of bit AC, you can tell that whether the carry, auxiliary carry has been generated or not. You can check this condition by checking this particular bit number. Are you clear about this, students? Yes, tell me. Are you clear about this? What is meaning of auxiliary carry? When carry is generated from lower byte to higher byte, it is called as auxiliary carry. And if the carry is generated from the last byte, then we call it as carry, merely carry. So when last carry or carry is generated, the carry flag or CY will be set. And when the carry is generated from lower order byte to higher order byte, this carry is called as AC. And when this type of carry is generated, AC will be set and not CY. Are you clear about CY and AC? CY is a different type of carry and AC is a different type of carry. So are you clear about this? Okay. So accordingly, we
Yes,
have two types of flags. Okay. So accordingly, we have two types of the flags, carry flags and auxiliary carry flag. Okay. Now here bit number 5. Okay, what you can observe in this bit number 5, it is called as F0 and this F0 is a user defined flag. Means as a programmer, you can define this flag for your application. Okay, so this bit number 5 you can use in your programming. So it is user defined flag. Okay, now let us go to bit number 4 and bit number 3 together. Okay, so bit number 4 and 3 are used together and they are used to select the banks of the register. So structure of the RAM we are going to study after this, and during studying this structure of the RAM, we will study that RAM contains different register banks. And actually there are 4 register banks in the RAM, and to select the bank, these 2 bits are used.
That means if you write 0, 0 to this, the bank number 0 will be selected. If you write 0, 1 to this, bank number 1 will be selected. If you write 1, 0, bank 2. If you write 1, 1, bank 3. So RS1 and RS0 is used to select the register bank which is present in your RAM. Okay. So at this point, just remember that RS1 and RS0, these two bits, they are used along with each other and they are used to select the various register banks which are present in the RAM of 8051 microcontroller. Are you clear about this, students? Are you clear about this? Tell me. What is function of RS1 and RS0? Be fast. If you have any doubt, ask me. Because we will have to move further. We are running out of time. Only 3 minutes are remain. Do you have any doubt in this? No? You are not telling
No,
anything? Okay. So let us go to bit number 2. Bit number 2 is called as OV. Meaning of OV is overflow. What is meaning of overflow? Suppose if you are using 8-bit register and result of some operation is greater than 8 bits, then we can say that overflow has occurred. And when overflow occurs, this particular flag is set to 1. Otherwise, it is 0. So mostly it is used in arithmetic operation. Overflow may occur when you are multiplying two numbers. It may occur when you are adding two numbers, and when overflow occurs, this flag is set to 1. Okay. Now, bit number 1 is reserved for future use. Okay, it is just reserved. It is not used for anything. Okay. And if you go to bit number 0, it is designated as P. P means parity. Parity we have studied. Can anybody tell me what is meaning of the parity? The number of ones in a data stream is called as parity. There are two types of parities, odd parity and even parity. Okay, if the number of ones in the data stream are odd, it is called as odd parity. If the number of ones in the data stream are even, then it is called as a even parity. And this particular bit will be set to 1 when there is odd parity as a result of any operation. And if as a result of any operation you are getting even parity, then it will be containing 0. Okay. So the bit number 0 indicates the parity of the result that the operation has produced. Okay. Are you clear about this, students? I think we will stop here today. If you have any doubts now, you can ask me about this program status word, about overflow, about parity. Do you have any doubt? Are you clear
No.
about this?
Oh, ma'am.
Yeah.
All of you open up your cameras and tell me you are clear about everything. And tomorrow we will be taking test, and we will take this test through Zoom meeting only. Is it possible for you? I will send a link through Zoom meeting, and be honest to answer the test, because